in a recent video where we were comparing the Honda GB350 to the Royal Enfield Hunter 350, I said that the top speed of the Hunter was just 60 miles an hour, maybe 62. Have I got it wrong? Let's go and find out.
Now, in said video, the old man was talking about the Hunter, not this classic 350, but this is the bike that was available from Royal Enfield, and I'm glad it was because it's absolutely beautiful, but they didn't have a Hunter available, unfortunately. So for the purpose of this test, we're going to be using the classic 350, which of course has the same 350cc J series engine from Royal Enfield, with the same power and torque, etc. But the bike is of course slightly different, with slightly different size wheels and a little bit different weight, but you know, the difference is very marginal. Now, when he said that he couldn't really go above 60 miles an hour, 62 on the Hunter, I wasn't quite sure whether that was correct, but I hadn't ridden it in such a long time. I had ridden the classic 350 in India. That was probably the last time I rode the classic 350, and in India you've got a lot of traffic, you've got bumpy roads, so you don't really get above 50, 55 miles an hour, because even the dual carriageways, you've got a lot of potholes and stuff. Not all the roads, and some of the roads are the most amazing roads you've ever seen in your life. They're unbelievable.
What got me thinking that I might be wrong, I'm usually right, of course, but a few of the comments said, no, I've got over 70 miles an hour on my one. I thought, that can't be right, that can't be right. I was thinking maybe they're tuned differently in different markets. Perhaps in America they're faster than they are here. So I thought we've got to find out. We've got to do this right, because I don't like to be wrong. Now, I thought it might be the factor is that we're big chaps. You know, at the time I rode the Hunter last time, I was about 17.5 stone. We're broad and wide, so therefore the wind resistance is higher, the power to weight ratio will be less, all that sort of thing. So I thought, well, maybe because of my weight, if you're a lighter person, then of course, then you're going to be able to go faster on any bike. You know, power to weight ratio is a big deal, especially when there's not a lot of power to start with. These bikes are not meant for speed, they're meant for poodling around, and they're the best in the world for that. So I thought perhaps it's that, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So we're going to put a camera on here so you can see the speedometer. We're going to go along on a private test track and see if we can get above 60 miles an hour.
So, starting off on the classic 350, I got up to 60 miles an hour pretty easily. So, cruising along at 60 miles an hour on the dual carriageways, the country lanes, is not a problem. It will do it with ease. And riding these bikes, trying to really get the full speed out of them, it's not the most enjoyable experience. You know, these things aren't built for that. They're built for pootling along these beautiful lanes. And I get the most fun out of these bikes on the back roads. But pushing on even further, I got to 65, I then got to 70, and I thought, you know, it's still going. And it's hard to know whether to keep it in fourth gear or go into fifth, because fifth can be a little bit of an override, but it still keeps pulling the fifth gear. So I did get to about 75, and that was with it's not a particularly windy day, on a flat road, and then I ran out of road, so I had to slow down. So 75 is the top I got out of it, but I felt like it had a tiny bit more left in it. So I reckon you might be able to see 77 or something like that, but it really does depend on the rider. So let's find out how the old man got on.
I was riding the Harley Davidson that we've got for a couple of weeks, and when we stopped at the corner where we were going to turn around on our test track, Darcy said, I got over 70. I said, no, you can't have done. I'm sure I've never got above 62. I'm sure I haven't. So we swapped over and I had my little go. Now, my bit, the track sort of went downhill for a while, and I managed to keep the throttle pinned open. I saw 70 miles an hour. I kept it pinned. I leant down a little bit like that to get less wind at me. It kept going. I got to 75, and then the road flattened out again, and I found it just started slowing down a little bit. So 75 was as high as I could get it with a bit of a hill, but that is impressive. So I need to eat humble pie and say I was wrong. The speed is over 70 miles an hour, and that's a big correction. So if you do see our other video where I said that, you'll know now that I was wrong. But now we're right. So well done. If you want one of these, you can go on a motorbike at 70 miles an hour, which is the legal speed limit in this country. No problem at all.